We've been playing loads of Destiny 2 this week and discovering all kinds of cool secrets. There's nothing Bungie likes more than an Easter egg. Of course, video games are always hiding Easter eggs, whether it's a pop culture reference or a hidden animation that only unlocks when you perform a bizarre set of actions. Normally it's just for fun, but it did get us thinking about Easter eggs that actually help you in some way. We came up with a big old list, and here are 10 of the best. It's reassuring that come the nuclear apocalypse, what remains of humanity will still be able to enjoy a daft joke or two. Fallout 4's nuked wasteland is home to all kinds of references, such as the vaporized remains of famed Boston watering hole Cheers, or the delightful parodies of classic retro games you can boot up on your Pip-Boy. But while they bring a smile to your face, they hardly help you murder all the mutant scum of the world. That's why you need to visit the UFO crash site. This Easter egg, previously seen in Fallout 3, triggered just after we hit level 20. Some people see a UFO crash from the skies, but whether you do it or not, it can be found south of the Beantown Brewery. Head to the area we marked on the map and you'll spot the flaming debris of a crashed ship. With a trail of alien blood leading away from the site, it's time for the sole survivor and Preston Garvey to make like Mulder and Scully, by which I mean hunt for an alien while dealing with huge amounts of sexual tension. Will they? Won't they? The wait is killing me! Track the blood to a cave and you meet the intergalactic intruder and pilfer his alien blaster pistol. Of course, do take this opportunity to shout something suitably witty. E.T., phone an Undertaker, as you plug his fat alien head. With this laser gun in your pocket, it's time to rule the wasteland as only an advanced alien civilization can. Go crazy and melt some bodies. No body means no evidence. There's not a court in the land that can convict you. Oh wait, thanks to the nuke, there's not a court in the land full stop. Oh well.
Fallout isn't the only game where the Easter eggs arm you. Gears of War is known for its bizarre secret weapons. Who could forget Dom's tomato grenades in Gears of War 4, rewarded for smashing up Marcus's precious greenhouse? You can't tell where the blood stops and the juice starts. But for this video, I'm picking the Cluckshot Easter egg in Gears of War 3. This one is unlocked in the game's first chapter when you reach the deck of the ship. Shoot into each of the 4 pipes around the ship and Marcus yells into them. Yell into each pipe and a chicken appears. Shoot this harmless clucker and it transforms into a giant golden hen with a flamethrower for a beak. No, I don't understand it either, but let's just go with it. But if you manage to kill this golden beast, the Cluckshot appears on the balcony above the deck. Hop the wall on the right of the helipad and you can collect it and unleash feathery death on all who cross you. It's basically a rocket launcher with a few chicken sound effects added to it, but it's pretty damn hilarious watching the Lambent explode in puffs of feathers. Though I do have to ask, wouldn't it have made more sense to catch the giant fire-breathing chicken and unleash him on the enemy instead? But you know, it's just an idea.
For this next Easter egg, we swap from offensive to defensive and take a trip to Dragon Age Inquisition's Crestwood region. Fast travel to the 3 Trout farm camp, located down here on the map, and you'll spot a large hill to your right. You'll have to brute force the wonky jump animation to get up the slope. It always makes us laugh that our hero can smite demons, but struggles with grassy inclines. It's worth it though, as the Wedge of Destiny waits at the top. Ignore the fancy name, the Wedge of Destiny is a giant lump of cheese. It's a lump of cheese with surprisingly decent defensive capabilities, however. Maybe it has a thick rind, hardened over years of maturity, or perhaps it's just the pungent stench that sends enemies reeling. Either way, it can be equipped by warriors as a shield, which means you get to enjoy the sight of the ever so grumpy Cassandra carrying a giant baby bell on her back. I'm impressed how well the cheese holds up in combat. I mean, I can only assume that the creatures of the void are vegan or lactose intolerant. And whilst you're in the area, why not make a quick detour to Lyndon's farm where you'll find a row of plants and some nearby corpses. That's right, it's Plants vs Zombies. Okay, this Easter egg doesn't help you, but I just sorted you out with a friggin' cheese shield, so get off my case, okay?
If you consider yourself the one true king, then this Easter egg is for you. It's an absolutely brutal sword in Dying Light that chops off heads and limbs in one clean sweep and hits with such force that it sends bodies flying across the street. It's an absolute beast, and here's how you find it. Visit the slums area and you'll spot a tiny island floating off the southeast coastline. Swim over to it and you'll find the sword in the stone. Well, technically it's a sword that went through a zombie and is now stuck in the stone, but to prove yourself worthy of this legendary weapon, you need to hold the X button for a few minutes and wait for the circle to slowly fill. You might also notice that it's not Excalibur, but EXPcalibur. I can only assume that King Arthur is very, very strict about copyright. But it's well worth the wait. Not only do you get the sword, but wait for another minute and the body goes up in flames, revealing the blueprints to build more legendary swords once this one breaks. Now all that's left to do is go medieval on the local population.
Not all our Easter eggs are about secret weapons or hiding behind cheese. There are no weapons in Campo Santo's brilliant Firewatch. This is a game about playing as a park ranger called Henry and doing park ranger things. Jobs like checking on fallen telephone wires or reporting any fog you find. Needless to say, any game where you report on fog isn't going to have a chicken gun. It's a lonely job. Your only company is a woman named Delilah who you chat to over a walkie-talkie. But with this Easter egg, you can make Henry's life a little happier. On the start of the second day, follow the trail that you used first to enter the game. It's here on the map if you're struggling to find it. Follow the path to the rock fall at the bottom and you'll find a turtle sitting on a rock. Pick it up and you've made a friend. Oh, look at that little face. Adorable. First you have to name it from a selection of suitably terrible turtle puns. Of course, we went for Turt Reynolds.
Well, now I can't wait to see him.
The mustache is impressive.
You tell him I love Cannonball Run.
You'll also get an achievement for your efforts, but the real benefit is having a new companion to share your watchtower with. When the story jumps to the next day, you'll find your new pal living with you. He's a friend for life. No, seriously, Turt Reynolds will probably outlive you. Nature is cruel.
What could be more useful than an Easter egg that lets you play a completely hidden game? You might think that Trials Fusion is just that game where you break your neck a lot in biking accidents, but it actually hides loads of other mini-games. In the cliffhanger level, you can access a secret first-person maze by riding your bike over this cable and then reversing into the hatch that opens behind you. This weird maze isn't going to win the BAFTA for best game, but it's something odd to show your mates. Even better is the hidden tennis game in the park and ride level. When you get to this area with the tennis court, instead of rushing past on your way to the finish line, bring your bike to a halt on the court, and after a brief moment, you'll be teleported into a tennis match against a penguin. I'm not 100% sure why there is a penguin in this futuristic city, or why he has such a devastating backhand, or why we're playing the game with giant lollipops. I can only assume this is what tennis will look like in the future, in which case, sign me up.
If I had to offer one tip to make all games better, it would be this. Just add Indiana Jones. Simple. If you don't believe me, take a look at LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. Not content with having the second greatest Harrison Ford performance of all time, the jokers at Traveller's Tales have included the legendary man with the hat too. To unlock LEGO Indiana Jones, you have to endure a short commercial. Enter the Cantina hub and find the door with the question mark. This part looks easy, but this whole time I'm having to resist murdering Jar Jar Binks instead. It takes self-control. Once in the question mark area, enter the cinema room and watch a short trailer for the LEGO Indiana Jones game. This unlocks Indy at the shop for 50,000 studs. Pretty cheap for a cinema legend. Now you can remake the prequel trilogy with a much cooler lead character. There's no chance in hell that Indy would have put up with Anakin's teenage strops. Think of all the grief that would have averted. Ah well.
If, like us, you've been spending an unhealthy amount of time in Destiny 2, then you might have already found the strange button prompt hiding by the fire in the farm. It asks for Sentry 4, but doesn't explain what that is. Well, it turns out you can get hidden movement boosts in the farm. For the first one, you need to climb on top of the water wheel. Just follow the stream if you can't find it, and then very carefully walk on top of the wheel for a few seconds. This earns you the wheel boost completed condition. You'll see a faint glow and feel an increased sense of speed. For the next boost, you need to get to the rooftop of the barn or the building with the large dome on top, and then walk along the wires that join the two. Doing this gets you the vertigo buff and a further burst of speed. You're now ready to return to the fire and begin scouting patrol. Hitting the button prompt triggers a timed checkpoint dash around the farm. It's not too tricky with your improved jumping abilities, but you do have to watch out for fall damage. Jump from a high building and the distance to the ground can easily kill you, die, and you have to do the whole process from the start. But if you manage to make it round without dying, you not only get a short fireworks display, but your guardian has bright blue aura and can tear up the farm with their new athletic abilities. The power only lasts until you die or leave the farm, but it's a cool little extra addition, though imagine if you could find a way of taking the skill into other planets, you'd be an absolute beast.
What Easter egg could be more useful than one that does your job for you, especially if the job in question is assassinating people? In Hitman Absolution, there is one brilliant secret that does exactly this. In the 10th mission, End of the Road, you have a simple job to do. Take local scumbag Lenny out into the desert and decide what to do with him. Now, you could just get back in the car and leave him, but where's the fun in that? Look around the area and you can find lots of toys to use on him. You could just shoot him, or you could shoot him with a slightly bigger gun, or you could hit him with a bone, or you could collect an ancient tomahawk from a nearby tree and hit him with that. But the best option is our Easter egg. Instead of taking care of Lenny, you need to run towards the vultures to scare them into the sky. Shoot the 5 birds as they circle in the sky, they explode with a squawk and a puff of feathers. You trigger this very special takedown. Yes, it's the ice cream van of death. We have no idea who is driving this thing or where they're going in such a hurry, but we're just happy to have someone else take a messy job off of our hands. Just don't stand too close to Lenny as the van approaches. This driver ain't picky about who he puts in the grave.
The Call of Duty series is arguably the king of the Easter egg, hiding all kinds of awesome modes and jokes. Who could forget the opening screen of Black Ops 1 where you can burst free of your chair by tapping the triggers and then play a legendary text adventure on the computer in the back of the room by typing the word Zork. That's a whole game you can enjoy for free. Treyarch repeated the trick back in Black Ops 2, and this is the Easter egg that we've picked for our list. To unlock it, you need to play the Nuketown 2025 and shoot the heads off all the mannequins in under 2 minutes. It can be quite tricky to do by yourself, as the mannequins do shift positions in each game, and it's very easy to miss 1 or 2 hiding in a hard spot to find. For the best results, make sure to tackle this with a second player, and each clear out half of the map. And if you manage to take off the heads in time, the central notice board in town can be used to play classic games like Pitfall, Hero, Kaboom, and River Raid. Okay, so the graphics aren't quite as cutting edge as you'd expect in 2017, but you really can't complain about getting a batch of free games hidden inside a game that you already own. Little additions like this are so cool to find, and it's great that people put in the effort to keep hiding them from us. If you have a Call of Duty Easter egg that you love, do make sure to add it in the comments down below. I want to know if I've missed any great ones. Anyway, time for me to get back to mannequin murder.
So those were our top 10 Easter eggs that are actually useful. Do let us know in the comments which of these were your favourites, and as always, if you have even better suggestions, we really want to hear those too. It's always good to find new Easter eggs. If you enjoyed this list, please do subscribe to the channel. We dive in the world of Xbox throughout the week and would love for you to join us. Good luck hunting those eggs, and we'll see you again soon. Bye!